Okay,
So
hang
we
on a
had
second.
that first.
So that was your first plate. The first time you've ever gotten a personalized plate?
I don't recall if
Okay.
we had personalized ones earlier, but this was the first professionally arranged
Gotcha.
personalized plate.
And how often did people know what this actually means?
Very rarely did people know what it actually meant, but occasionally those people who had been in Alaska or had served in our military in Alaska knew exactly what it was.
And it's what again?
It is the Eskimo word and name for the penis bone of a walrus.
That's funny.
That's a baculum is the official formal name for it, and only 4 mammals, animals have such a baculum.
Interesting. And the DMV obviously didn't know that because they might not have let that slide, right?
I don't know about that. They don't mind names. I think what they were bothered with mostly were curse words that seemed
Okay,
to bother
right.
people.
That's a good point. And your other plate, some might consider controversial. Explain what the P well means.
Well, my husband was a urologist,
Okay.
and he wanted a plate that would express what he wanted and what he did to help people professionally. And so P-Well served a simple, direct purpose. That's what he wanted
Did
them
he
to
think
do.
of any other combinations like can't pee or anything of that
Yes,
nature?
actually, some of his colleagues suggested "can't go" was
Oh.
one of the words.
And can't go would be good if your car ever broke down on the side of the road.
And that was a consideration, and his response to that was, no, that's a negative. He did not want it to be a negative license plate. He wanted it to be something positive, and that's when he thought of P-Well.
That's funny. Now, your other car over here, I noticed, has a personalized plate, so let's go over there and tell me the story about that. This is more of the common type of plate. Aside from not being blue like your old California blue plate, this is more of the current ones. What
Yes.
does the definition of
Well, we
OMA mean?
already had the P-Well plate, and we were working on a plate for this new car, and its grandma aspect was the most significant thing in my life at that time.
Okay.
We had completed the number of grandchildren we anticipated that we'd ever have,
Oh, and that was 8?
and that was 8.
Okay.
And so my husband, who was so creative with the plates, put down my grandma name, which is Oma, and then loves, that heart representing love, and the S to give it the plural, 8 representing the 8 grandchildren. I have 4 boys and 4 girls from my 3 children. And miraculously, each child had a boy and a girl, or a girl and a boy first.
Now,
And I might add, professionally, I'm a sex education teacher, retired. Go ahead.
oh, interesting. Now, explain how OMA came to be your name?
Oma came to be my name in an interesting way. My firstborn grandchild, who was to name me my grandma name, was down at Ocean Beach with me and my husband one day, searching in the sand for trinkets or whatever. He was just 22 months old.
Okay.
And he found a prize and came running towards us and holding his little prize up in the air, "Ma, Ma!" And he got a little closer and he got a look and realized I wasn't his mother, and he said, "Oh, Ma." And I thought, oh, that'll be a good name. I can be the old Ma, and we'll shorten it down to Oma.
And do people ask what that means, or what if that's your name, or with the Ma, do they pretty much think that's some combination
Well,
of?
a lot of people look at the plate who recognize the Oma being a grandma name, and they ask me whether my husband's grandpa name was Opa, and I said no, we did not know the German origin of Oma and Opa at the time, and my husband chose a name, grandpa name called Papa. But some people know it, some people guess it. My neighbor, when she saw the Loves 8 on it, asked me whether that was my favorite gambling number.
Oh, that's funny.
And when I told her that no, in fact, it was the fact that I had 8 grandchildren, I must confess she didn't believe that I, who had moved in just as she figured 10 years earlier, suddenly became a grandmother to 8 grandchildren.
That's funny. Somebody told me in Salt Lake City, a friend of mine, that somebody was looking at buying their car, and they wanted numbers that I think added up to 8, because in Baccarat or some game like that, that's what you want. He's a player of that game, so yeah, I guess the gambling thing is probably more common
Well,
on plate.
Josh, just realized as you're saying that about the gambling, this year was a big year. Remember, we heard in the news the big thing was to get married, 8808.
Oh yeah,
And I
yeah.
just realized that.
Yeah. Your 8 would have been perfect to have a bunch of cans tied to the back of the car and everything.
I hadn't put it together until you gave me that response. Of course, 8 is really a big gambling
That's funny.
number.
All right, well, thanks.